What's up, everybody? It's Buffalo Ben 15 Golf back at it again. And today we are out at the beautiful Manistee Golf Country Club in Manistee, Michigan, a course that has been around since 1901. 122 years old. And there's a lot of pressure on this first tee shot, and as you see there, a little bit of a oops, well, that sucks, but luckily it doesn't count.
Not very far, but it's right down the middle.
Hit a decent drive on this first hole. Longest par 4 on the golf course at 418, straight into the wind. And as you guys will see, coming up in the following few holes, this is without a doubt the most scenic course I have ever played in my life. And when the wind was gusting like it was today, it made it a true test. And as you see here, I like this 5-wood, but it only goes 173 yards.
That was great. That was great. What is this?
Yeah, as you see already, this course is just throwing the book at me. Then again, I suppose it's what to expect when you're this close to Lake Michigan. And some of the holes on this course go right out to the lake. And you guys are going to love what's coming up.
And what a beautiful touch. Oh, baby. Oh, Jack, that's a sensational shot.
Hope you also love that chip shot. That's still as strong as it's been all year. And as you see here, taking a par 4.5 really with this wind. I mean, when you go wood on a par 4, you are feeling like you stole one when you get a par, as I do right here. Very nice start. And as you see here, I am fired up. I am pumped. I played with a twosome husband and wife duo by the names of Chad and Carrie. Both of them were excellent people. Chad was, I would say, about a high 90s, low 100 shooter. His wife, Carrie, was just starting to play the game, been playing about a year and a half. She still had like a package set of clubs. But you know what? Out on the golf course, we don't really care what other people do. We just got to care about ourselves, don't we? And going into this round, not only was I looking forward to the views of Lake Michigan, I was looking forward to the possibilities of some really low scores. This course is only a 67.9 rating, 121 slope. It's only about 5,700 yards. It's a par 70, par 34 front nine. Pretty unusual. And the back is, of course, a par 36. So scoring is going to be tough on this front.
You cannot hit it offline in this wind. Oh my goodness. Like, this is a different animal, guys. This isn't stuff we're used to in the inland part of the state.
And as you see there, another shot into the wind, just goes nowhere. That was a 9-iron from pretty much a gap wedge distance. I had only about 125 to the flag. Had to play for the wind.
Just beautiful.
But I played perfectly for the break on that chip shot. 2 straight up and downs to start the round, even through 2 at Manistee Golf and Country Club. I tell you what, if the short game is as sharp as it is, as it's been so far, I mean, some really low scores are in play despite this win. I mean, look at how hard that flag is flapping in my face. But luckily that time it didn't really matter much because we were just super close to the hole there. So off to the first Lake Michigan hole at hole 3, another par 4, about 358 yards, I believe. Yeah, 358. And definitely the worst of the 3 drives so far. Just caught this one on the inside half of the face towards that heel. That gear effect, of course, and obviously you got the into the wind. What do you get? A recipe for a wayward shot.
Just look at this. That is the mighty Lake Michigan out there. Less than a half mile from where I'm standing. This kind of area between Muskegon and Traverse City, a lot of the coast is like on a big like plateau almost. Arcadia Bluffs is about 20 minutes north of this course. And which is the top rated golf course in the state. Also, I think like number 35th in the country. So, my goodness, guys. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable course. So beautiful. So gorgeous. This is like one of those courses where it's almost like secondary what you shoot, just because you're having just an absolute blast being here. I can't wait to tee off from where those guys are hitting. He looked like he just hit a rocket. All right. Let's not let it distract us. Let's just play golf. Just enjoy the wonderful blessing that this course is.
Definitely being amped up after those 2 pars. It's easy to just have a hole where you go after it a little too hard in a situation like that, and all of a sudden you're bringing doubles, triples into play, and all of a sudden you're back down to earth and you just feel devastated. So one thing I'll say about Lake Michigan, it definitely calmed my nerves a little bit. Despite the 60-foot downhill cliff to the water's edge that this course is perched on. Maybe it's even higher than that, I'm not sure. Even though that was the case, it definitely calmed my nerves a bit. And of course I still screw it up, because why would we hit a good shot after getting away with a bad drive and taking advantage of it? Of course not. I'm Buffalo Ben 15. I'm going to find a way to screw it up in the worst way possible. Which is kind of honestly what we do here. I almost would have rather been in this bunker, oddly. Obviously, because the sand is just so gorgeous here. They've got like a dune just off of the course's property that they probably get some of the sand from. I will give you one spoiler. I did not go in any bunkers across the entire day, so I never got to play out of them, but they look beautiful. So, another putt here. This is the first real putt after kind of being short-sighted, having to go over the contours and humps that the bunker made on its edges, which is why I said I would have almost rather been in the bunker. And pretty good effort on the putt, just sneaks by on the high side a little bit, but tap-in bogey won't hurt us too bad.
White caps going up on those lighthouses. Yeah, it's a windy one. Even for the coast, I think this is a relatively windy day. I mean, definitely 25 miles an hour. About like 30-odd mile-an-hour gusts. Yeah, stuff that's no joke. That's where we're hitting from next. Oh my gosh, I did not know that was the next hole. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
There is a reason why I did not utter a peep on this side of the camera when I was showing you all that. There's no words to describe it. It's just absolutely stunning. I mean, hopefully it's not the closest I ever get to Pebble Beach or Cypress Point or anything like that. Cabot Links, I've heard, is another great course on the water. I believe that's in Nova Scotia. So, just thought I'd show you that. I mean, how could you not? Honestly, it'd be criminal to give you guys a golf vlog of this course and not show you some of the views, because they're just amazing.
Be right.
This might be the favorite birdie I've ever made on this channel. I really don't think of... I mean, I had to have just, like, come right across on this one.
On the hole with the tee
Birdie.
shot right out there on Lake
Greatest
Michigan.
birdie I've ever made in my life.
I make a walk-off birdie. You can't script it any better. And just like that, we return to even par almost a quarter of the way through the course. We are so far so good. I mean, honestly, it can't get that terrible now. I mean, even if I bogey out, that's plus 14, which is an 84, right? So, I mean, it's always nice to get off to a good start like that. And guess what? Those good starts help you have some insurance for moments like this, as you see behind a tree here.
I just have to try to hit something high and curve it. But I'm not going to be too perfect with it. If I can just get this green side left and just chip and a putt, I'd be happy with that because I've been chipping well today.
So as you see here, very difficult shot. Really no chance to get this on the green unless I hit an absolutely perfect fade with a wedge, which is almost impossible. I mean, you can hook stuff a lot easier than you can fade it usually, especially with shorter clubs. So definitely maybe a half shot lost there. But as you know, my chipping has been pretty darn good so far today, as well as just partial wedge shots in general, because that was like an 80-yard shot that I had on hole 4. A short par 4 that I took advantage of, and those are the holes I need to take advantage of. And just not quite as good of a chip shot there. Figured I'd include a guest highlight. Incoming. There it is. What a putt from Chad, who I believe got a par on this hole after he almost went in the drink on the right side, and kind of was also blocked off. Shot went into the bunker, hit a decent enough bunker shot out. I mean, I know people with a handicap like 6 strokes less than him that can't get the bunker shot out on one attempt. But he hit a good shot, and look at that, makes the putt and steals one. Gotta love those. Stealing one is what you gotta do sometimes if you want to break 80 and want to shoot well and want to have a sub 49 hole average. And headed into this round, I was at a 40.61. Yeah, I was definitely off the pace quite a bit. The Devil's Ridge round was really a punch to the gut. Obviously, as you saw in the previous vlog, I was thinking, oh boy, start of another slump again. Not a good hole to follow up a bogey. 184 par 3. I believe we are into the wind as well. It is in pins in front. Oh yeah, there's a bunker I need to clear. Okay. Yeah, this is not an easy one. Will it? Will it get even better? Absolutely it will. Manistee Golf Country Club. They get everything right. So off to the tee shot on hole 6 here. A very long par 3. Yeah, it feels like a par 4, doesn't it? I just subconsciously say that and subconsciously think that in my mind sometimes on holes like this. 184 yards into the wind, bunker guarding the front of the green, and it is a deep one too. One thing about older courses, you know, where the game first originated.
I could not have hit that better than I just did.
On the links.
I probably should have gone
those
5 wood.
Bunkers in the British Open, you know, and some of the bunkers at Manistee, I mean, they weren't quite that, but they were definitely, like, if you're, like, not in the center of the bunker, like, if you're really close to the lip, like, you almost can't play straight at the flag on some of them, which is definitely this course's main defense. But I just figure out a way to mount an offense no matter what, whether I'm on the green or not. That's another par, as you guys will see coming up. Yeah, it was almost a wedge worthy, but still had a little bit of work left. But I do clean this one up, I will say. A very good stroke I put on this. Yeah, as you see, look at me keeping my head down and not jerking it up. That's awesome. I mean, the putting stroke has gotten so much better, guys, from last year to this year. And I think that's the main thing that's really kept me in the hunt for this sub 40 for 9-hole average, even though I'm definitely on the outside looking, and I have to have a pretty fantastic finish to the season in order to get it. Obviously, I already know what happened, but for the sake of the videos, of course, I won't disclose that. But it's just sometimes you have moments in a year. That was a really good drive, as you see there. Probably the best one of the day. OB down the right side, but I handled it great and didn't really chicken out lefts, as you see, still in the fairway. But also a clever design on this hole. They put the bunker like on the side that like guards the left side of the green, which is where a lot of people come in from because they don't want to go OB. So really, really clever design there. And I almost still hole it from way out from about 60 yards. Probably got within about 1.5 feet there before rolling past to here. But just going back to what I was saying earlier, the putting, because obviously, as you know, I've had a driver change. I switched from my old Cobra Fly Z to the Cobra King LTDX. And it took me a while, even after buying it, and even after getting a model of it that was pretty close to the specs that were ideal for me. Even after that, there was definitely a learning curve. There was definitely a period where I was in a little bit of a funk with it. I mean, just off the tee, I just felt like my confidence with my irons and wedges definitely went down. Confidence with the driver's back, though, as you see there on that another great drive that ends up on the left side of the fairway. Look at the contact on this one.
That is miles better, guys. Look at that. Miles better.
Definitely starting to figure it out now, even through the course of the round. But, you know, I lost a lot of confidence with my irons and wedges because of how bad positions I was putting myself in with driver. There was a period for about a month where I just could not draw the ball to save my life. Everything was a miss right. And that was close to the time that I filmed the Bucks Run video. And as you saw, I missed a lot of drives to the right. I lost a lot of them over there. And even the good ones that I hit still had a little bit of a fade on them. So as I struggled to get up this hill, it took me 2 chips to get on the green. This hole isn't looking as good here.
I thought I hit that decent.
But one thing I have to get off my chest is the irons and the wedges, I just wasn't getting them on the green in regulation, hardly ever. Like, there were a few rounds in the summer, even though I still played well overall, I just could not, for the life of me, hit greens and give myself chances at a lot of pars.
That was a little friskier than he had in mind, I can tell you that.
Well, there wasn't any real need to hit it 1.5 feet, 2 feet by the hole here now.
And that's exactly what I mean. This is a perfect example where losing the confidence in my wedges takes me 2 to get up on the green, in where it should just take me 1 shot to get where I was for that par putt. And it gave me a lot of stressful par putts and stressful bogey putts. And that right there, the bogey putt that I just made, that was a slider. A year ago, I would have had no chance. Remember how far that toe was up? I would have pushed everything to the right of that hole. There would have been no chance I got that.
Just a little postage stamp on the 9th. Hole in one would see us get an even par score on the front.
Let's do it. But this year, it's been different. You know, it's the putter has been something in my game that has saved a lot of rounds that would have otherwise been 86s, 87s, 88s, and I turned them into respectable 82s, 83s, 84s because of my putting. And it's helped me stay within striking distance somewhat this year, where I definitely didn't improve as much as I wanted to from last year to this year.
You can just barely see it. Just a little inflection on the coast. I believe those are the Sleeping Bear Dunes, if I'm not mistaken. I know Silver Lake is, I know Silver Lake's a little south of here. I believe those are the Sleeping Bear Dunes over there. Very interesting.
But something that has helped me move the needle from last year to this year, I mean, of course, I've had my bright spots this year. The 77 at Gaylord Golf Club was an amazing round. The match against Michael Zanoni, I played amazing in that match. I had a serious chance to win where going into it, I thought he was going to beat me by 4 or 5 shots and maybe win 2 or 3 up. But that didn't happen. And it was largely because I didn't hit putts like that. As you see there, that is definitely a rarer miss for me. But it's helped me stay in striking distance because a lot of mid-high 80s have turned into low-mid 80s because of my putting this year. And it's really been something that I've been relying on a lot in some of these rounds. I haven't really had to this round, which is probably why I kind of had a lapse there. But that is still 37. That was an admirable 9 holes, guys. 37 plus 3, because it's a par 34. But you know what? That big board still says 37. I'll take it, especially in a course I've never seen. A course as iconic as this was a lot of pressure, especially in front of people I had never played golf with before. I will take it and run. 15 putts, 4 out of 7. Fairways, no penalties, only 3 out of 9 greens, but as you saw, that was some of the best chipping I have ever had in my life. This was one of the best chipping days I had ever had in my life up till this point. And it results in a seriously good score where I am in great position to break 80 at this historic course. It has been on Michigan for over 120 years. As you see, I'm just showing you some photos that I took throughout the day. This course is just, I've said it so many times, but it's unbelievable, so beautiful, so historic, so iconic, you know? Like before Marquette Gray Walls and before Arcadia Bluffs and before American Dunes out in Grand Haven, before all of that, this was like the beach course, you know? You wanted to play golf on the beach, you came out to Manistee, you know? So this was just a destination course back in the day. I honestly don't know how it could have been private back in the day. It's definitely possible because, you know, with how old it is and with how nice of a location it is. But, you know, I mean, Manistee's only got like 8,000 people, so I don't know how you could really support it with the population, especially back then when not a lot of people played golf, heck knew what golf was, you know. But after the World Wars, you know, is when golf really started to become a game that a lot more people played, not just like the wealthy folks, you know. But that's probably what it was. A lot of wealthy folks from Chicago would have summer homes, and they still do, over on the west coast of Michigan. Met a lot of Blackhawks fans over on the west coast of Michigan. But, you know, it might have been private, you know, it might have been, you know, that destination that all the folks would flock to back then, you know. But either way, it's public now. That's all that matters. I got to play it. It was such a privilege. It was awesome. And, you know, as you heard, Rick Jenneret, that audio from the Tyler Myers OT goal, against the team he now plays for. Can you believe it? They've done it again. They've won in overtime. Tonight, that was not the case for the Sabres. They lost in overtime at Madison Square Garden against the Rangers today. It was such a hard-fought game, though. It was probably one of the best-played games that the Sabres have had all year. You know, they've got off to a bad start. They've underperformed to the standard they wanted to this year after such a close call to the playoffs last year. Oh, my gosh, I was on the edge of my seat that entire last month. I was so heartbroken when we just barely missed out. And so far this year, it kind of looks like that's going to happen again, which sucks. But, you know, tonight was a big night for them. Still, even though they only got 1 point, it could have easily been 2, but it also could have easily been 0. But their great third period play, it's like, well, that's the end of the game, you know? I mean, putting's the end of the hole, so they're putting, so to speak. I mean, if I can analogize it that way. Don't call me crazy. This is my channel. I can say what I want to. But the Sabres, due to their late game heroics this year, they have the third most third period goals in the entire NHL as of right now this season. They have turned a season that could easily be like 9-21-4 or 8-22-4 now to a semi-respectable 14-17-4. And that's kind of what I've done this season. It's a season where a lot of things haven't improved as much as I would have liked them to. Some even worsened maybe. Like I don't hit my irons nearly as far as I used to, which I think is crazy. I don't know what's been happening about it. I've been trying to figure it out. But stuff like that. But because one facet of my game has been really, really good, I've turned a season that could have easily been a disaster, a multiple year steps backwards, and I'm not kidding, into a very respectable one. And you know, the Sabres also should note that two teams ahead of them in the division both lost in regulation today, Boston and Detroit. And we even play Boston head-to-head coming up. So that 1 point we gained on him, we moved the needle just that little bit. I moved the needle today with scoring this 37 in pursuit of this 39.9x. You know, so you just got to have that mindset, you know. Even though it might not be exactly what you want. I mean, of course the Sabres wanted to win in overtime. Who doesn't? It's still small victories, you know. Like a team, the best team in the league they played tonight. The Rangers are at the top of the entire league. They have the highest win percentage. And we go in there against all odds and get something positive out of it. We could have easily got smoked 6-0, but that didn't happen because the Sabres outscored them in the third period and stuff like that. That's exactly what I've been doing, and I'm trying to do this fall and with my putting all year. So it's all about moving that needle and those small victories sometimes, guys. It doesn't come all at once. It never has. It never will. But, you know, just piecing it together over time is how you finally get that victory, that final glory, that final goal you're trying to hit. And at that point, you set a new goal too. But, I mean, that's how high school was. And it's honestly been pretty disappointing for me golf-wise since then. I feel like I haven't played as well as I have, and I did in my senior year of high school. But, you know, it's those small victories, those moving the needle type of rounds like today that really keep you going, that really keep you hopeful, that really keep you hungry, you know? So that's my take on this, and I'm sorry I've kept you guys for so long. Hopefully you've stuck around this long. If you have, thank you so much. It's been a relatively quiet year on YouTube for me. I definitely haven't posted as much. You know, life's getting busy. I'm becoming a young adult, and making these videos, I'm trying to really, you know, give back to the game I love, so to speak. There's a lot of golf YouTubers that I feel like are really dragging the game down just with the kind of antics they pull in some of their videos. I won't name them. You know who they are if you're a golf YouTube fan. But I'm here to try to really tell people that, hey, no, like you don't got to pay attention to stuff that'll distract you and take you away from your goals. I'm trying through my pursuit on this channel of my goals and my goals alone. I really haven't deviated from that. I really haven't done any silly videos. It's always been serious on YouTube for me. Through that, I have, I hope, inspired some people who watch this video to kind of go after their golf goals a little bit more and not think about stuff on the course like drinking and loud music and, stuff like that. That's never what golf's been about for me. I won't judge. I'm not one to judge. I've got a lot of problems myself, but it's just the way I see it is, if I have helped you guys who watch that play golf a lot get better somehow, just because I've kind of lit that fire of being serious, and I don't think it's a bad thing to care too much. I think you should rather care too much than not care enough. And I've been criticized for that, but that's the way I roll. And if I have brought progress to you guys in your golf games because of that, in some indirect way, I'm so flattered and so grateful to hear that, especially this time of year, baby. Posting this on Christmas Eve, right? It's that time of year, season of giving, and I'm trying to give through this channel too. And I'm glad you guys are seeing this. I wanted to get this video out before Christmas. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, everybody. It's been great. It's been great, and I'm going to continue to do this for as long as I can. I love you guys, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you sticking by me. This is Buffalo Ben 15 signing off. Have a good day, everyone.